I must start off by apologizing. I know the plan was to make a review of Super Mario 3D World, but I feel I need to play the game just a little more before I can make my final judgment on the game. I really don't want to give the game an unfair review. Now, calm down, I do actually enjoy the game quite a lot, so it won't be a negative review, but I need just a little more time to make up my mind. In the meantime, I would like to take you back to one of my most nostalgic games, the game that introduced me to the Game Boy, and might just be the first game that I ever played, Super Mario Land. With its fast-paced gameplay, simple controls, and great atmosphere, Super Mario Land is one masterpiece that will always be close to my heart. The game bears close resemblance to the original Super Mario Bros., with its simple art style, one-way scrolling screen, and slightly stiff jumping physics that actually come in favor of the fast-paced gameplay it's aiming for. Since everything Mario does happens so fast, you'll find yourself having very little time to react when jumping from one small platform to another. But eventually you will actually adapt to the fast-falling gravity, and with some more training, you will master the rather smooth platforming that this game has to offer. As well as faster movements, the worlds you'll be exploring in Super Mario Land stray quite far away from the roots of earlier Mario games, for the most part. World 1 starts off safe in a desert theme already seen in Super Mario Bros. 2 and Super Mario Bros. 3, which came out around the same time. For players of the original games, it throws strange surprises at you, such as Koopas that explode after jumping on them, fireballs that bounce around without the influence of gravity, and a rather interesting way of ending the levels. Other Mario games would end with either a flagpole, a box containing a random card, or a high jump thingy, but Super Mario Land has what I think is one of the best and most exciting ways yet. It presents you with two doors, where the upper door gives you a bonus if you reach it. What makes this so exciting is that you usually only have one chance to get there, and if you somehow fail and the falling platforms disappear, sorry, better luck next time. And that is one of the strengths of Super Mario Land. It leaves you with very little trial and error. Sure, the game is hard and all, but with plenty of checkpoints and plenty of lives, you won't find yourself stuck in one area for more than a few seconds, and that's what makes the game flow so well. I must also point out the music. Oh, the music is one of the best I've ever heard in a Mario game, and one does not simply resist humming the music of this game for hours after playing it. It gets stuck in your head, and it fills you with joy. The first boss is a remake of Bowser from Super Mario Bros. If you're smart, you just jump over it and barely recall seeing something that looks like a lion. It should also be noticed that the princess you rescue in Super Mario Land is Daisy. And that is the one reason why I believe that there is no such thing as a relationship between Luigi and Daisy. I mean, just because there are two plumbers and two princesses doesn't mean they all match together like yin and yang. Oh, there's also Wario and Waluigi and Pauline and Rosalina. Are they together too? Because they exist? World 2 takes us to the shore with jumping fish and killer android logos. And apparently we arrived in a UFO. Yeah, don't ask me, I have no idea why. Eventually, the game takes a break from the platforming and turns into a space shooter-esque submarine level that's actually really good. I've played a lot of space shooters and this one gets mostly everything right. For example, in order to shoot you just need to hold down the button instead of repeatedly tapping, and if you touch the walls you don't die, and the boss is also very satisfying to kill. Now World 3 takes place on the Easter Island, with even more crazy enemies and rocks. Tons of rocks. After fighting the reincarnation of the Moai tribe, yes, they actually lived on the Easter Island. Everyone thought they were made by the tribe, but they were the tribe, according to this game at least. Anyways, after fighting it, we are taken to World 4, and we are in China, with karate kids trying to fight you by only jumping on one foot. I assume they learned these incredible tactics from this guy. At last, you get to another shooter stage, and you're now in a plane. The final boss is just this weird cloud thingy, or is it? Your heart is pumping as you give your very last efforts to destroy the final boss once and for all, and when the moment comes, you're done. You're done with one of the greatest Mario games ever made. Surprisingly enough, Super Mario Land was in fact the first Mario game to be developed without Shigeru Miyamoto. And wow, how seamless it is. Look, I have a lot of respect for Miyamoto, but Super Mario Land, as great as it is, it shows that not only he can make great Mario games, and I'm honestly not that worried if Miyamoto ever leaves Nintendo. I mean, it will happen, hopefully not soon, but eventually. But I'm not that worried if it happens because I guess others can make great Mario games too, and this game shows that. Super Mario Land is, in my opinion, maybe the greatest 2D Mario game ever. It hits every note perfectly. The fast-paced platforming, the variety in level design, the atmosphere, and it has some of the catchiest music I've ever heard. I couldn't recommend this game stronger. Try it for yourself on the 3DS eShop or on an emulator. I don't care, just play it. Or if you're lucky, maybe you already have it on your Game Boy. Now, if you think I was done, then think again, because I really can't talk about Super Mario Land without talking about its rather interesting sequel. Yes, there was a sequel, Super Mario Land 2, 6 Golden Coins. I've only been aware of this game in the more recent times, and only a few days ago I actually played the game for the first time, so the nostalgia won't be with me here, but I'll try to give it a fair review. Right off the bat, you'll notice a big change in the overall playstyle. And by big, I mean quite literally big. The sprites have been massively scaled up, which to its credit is more appropriate for a Game Boy game with such a small screen. So yes, while turning Lego into Duplo may have some advantages, it quickly has drawbacks, since the limited field of view often makes it hard to tell what's above you and below you. It's a flaw, but not a game breaker. The running and jumping is also very slow, like in Mario 3. Yeah, it makes it easier to react, but it also eliminates that quick gameplay from the first game. It's clear the success of Super Mario Bros. 3 heavily influenced the direction of Super Mario Land 2. Many of the sprites are taken directly from Mario 3, and there is also an overworld now. After the first stage, you can take on any of the 6 worlds in any order you want, kinda like in Mega Man, so it kinda takes inspiration from there too. These 6 worlds include Tree Zone, where you fight ants, Space Zone, where the gravity is lighter, Macro Zone, where everything is big and once again you fight more ants, Pumpkin Zone, which is your typical haunted house, Mario Zone, which is inside a giant clockwork Mario, and check it out, that's Lego, or Duplo. And last but not least, there is Turtle Zone. And inside the turtle there is a whale, and inside the whale there is an octopus, which is the boss. And inside the octopus there are smaller octopuses, and inside the octopuses there are coins, and inside the coins there is gold, and inside gold there is currency to buy a new copy of Super Mario Land 2, and inside Super Mario Land 2 there is a turtle, and inside the turtle there's a whale, and inside the whale there's an octopus, and okay, enough of this Inception piss. I have actually known for a while that there had to be a Mario Land 2, because as a kid I remember playing a lot of Wario Land, which had the subtitle Super Mario Land 3. So going from Mario Land to Wario Land left a big hole in me. How did the protagonist role go from Mario to Wario? What have I missed out? And Super Mario Land 2 answers a lot of those questions I had as a kid. Kind of. The bad guy in Super Mario Land 2 is Wario. This was also the first appearance of Wario. Now, I never saw Wario as evil. I only thought he was greedy, willing to save the world as long as it benefits him in finding more treasure. That's how the Wario Land games treat him. But that's not the case here. Just have a look at this commercial for Super Mario Land 2.
Obey me, Wario. I am your master. Mario is your enemy.
The wicked imposter Wario has cast an evil spell over Mario Land.
Don't let Mario get the 6 golden coins. Don't let Mario reach the palace.
This is the biggest, most dangerous, most challenging Game Boy adventure yet.
Obey Wario. Destroy Mario.
Don't fall under Wario's evil spell in Super Mario Land 2, only on Game Boy.
That is creepy. So, in order to reach the castle of the evil Wario, you have to defeat all 6 bosses and get all 6 golden coins. If you get game over, you lose all the coins. Even if you reach the castle and then get game over, you still lose all the coins and you still have to beat all the bosses to get the 6 golden coins back. This is something that really holds the game back. Wario's castle at the end of the game is unfairly hard and unreasonably punishing. and there is not a single checkpoint in this castle. You have to get through the whole castle, which is actually very long, and you have to defeat Wario all without dying once. Now, previous Mario games have had plenty of checkpoints, but this one just gives a big middle finger and tells you to start over. Mario Land 1 gave you so many lies and checkpoints that you rarely got stuck in trial and error, but this game, however, is the definition of trial and error. Just because the game is hard doesn't mean it's bad, but this game is just unreasonable, and repeatedly having my 6 golden coins taken away from me was just not fun. As it stands, Super Mario Land 2 is a different kind of Mario Land. It's clear that they went for the Super Mario Bros. 3 crowd, and why shouldn't they? It's one of the most successful games of all time. Personally, as I think Mario 3 is very overrated, I can't jump on that bandwagon and say I loved Super Mario Land 2 that much, but I'm glad I gave it a try. It's still a solid sequel, and after all, it was the start of a new kick-ass video game series, the Wario Land games. If it wasn't for Mario Land 2, we wouldn't have Wario Land, and we wouldn't have Wario. So, for my next review, we'll be having a look at the Wario Land games. Oh wait, I have to do Super Mario 3D World. Which game should be next? Nah, I'll just keep you guessing. GTA 5, bitch!